Hey guys, AscendantGod here. And below. Here with Raid Shadow Legends. Gonna do some arena battles. Gonna touch on the composition here really quick. And I did want to do a little bit of a guide here. Just in short, like if you're wondering how to get to Gold 4, or if you're struggling in Gold 4, you want to try to get better, I'll tell you it comes down to some really simple things. Number 1, be faster than the enemy. Number 2, do more damage than the enemy. Don't worry about debuffs. Worry about doing damage to them and killing them as quickly as possible. The only debuffs you want to worry about are defense down and weaken, because defense down and weaken amplifies everybody else's damage. Now, for example, like I'm going to show you using Dracomorph in Arena because he has this A3 with the weaken and defense down. Now, it does no damage in and of itself, but as you can see from my Spider 20 video, if you haven't seen that yet, watch it. Dracomorph will literally about triple the damage that other champions do. So you figure if you have one champion in one slot tripling the damage of those other champions, that's like taking those other 2 damage dealers. Say you have a turn meter boost like I do with Arbiter. You want a speed aura, of course, and a turn meter boost where you increase turn meters of allies, stuff like that. Okay? And then beyond that, you want your speed booster and speed aura, and then you want somebody with defense down. If you can get weakened too, that's great, but defense down amplifies damage more than weaken does. And then after that, you want 2 strong glass cannons, all right? Now, mine are gonna be Bigun and Nethril, all right? Now, with that said, I'm gonna also show you some fights where I try to debuff the enemy with Martyr in there as well, and then with a single target to take somebody out, Turtle to snipe them, because maybe you don't have people strong enough to do glass cannons. So I'm going to show you a couple of varieties, but also show you why that defense down and weaken is so valuable, because I've seen a lot of people argue that like, oh well, you're better off with 3 glass cannons and a speed aura. Compare your damage, all right? Just compare the damage. And I'm going to start out with the weaker group of the 2. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you Martyr along with Turtle, because when I don't amplify the damage, it makes more sense to have a champion that's strong enough to do one-hit kills. Turtle is a very, very hard-hitting single-target champion, all right? So when I'm not amplifying everybody else's damage, him on his own, I can snipe whoever I want to snipe over here. Now, who I would want to snipe is most likely, as long as I'm faster than them, they're High Katoon. So High Katoon doesn't give everybody else some turns. I don't remember what the heck Xavia does. Oh, Xavia I don't think does anything that's... yeah. She's no threat. So actually the big threat would be Nethril in here. So what I really want to do with Turvold is probably take out Nethril, because I don't care if High Katoon boosts up everybody else's speed if they don't have Nethril to do the damage and knock down turn meters. So, see, as usual, I'm going first. Like I said, she has almost 300 speed. Look at everybody else's turn meters. I'm way in the lead here. All right, then boost up my speed here. All right, and then now Turvold, like I said, I give him his buff, and then I want to take out one of the people on the enemy team. So with him, when I used to play with him like this, my goal is to snipe whoever it is that I feel is the biggest threat over here. Now right now, once Nethril's gone, I don't need to worry about anything. He's going to be gone, no problem. So you see Turbo took him out. Now Martyr goes next, and Martyr is the debuffer, where like I said, this is what I used to do in Arena. So now I debuff everybody, and with the provokes, it's great. Now High Katoon isn't going to boost the turn meters, and everybody else is going to use their A1s, their weakest attacks. All right, now Nethril, I'm going to use as A3 to knock down the turn meters of everybody, and this is going to buy me more time with those provokes, but it's also going to kill people. So anyway, and then that's about it. So I'm just going to auto this out. And I'm going to do a couple more battles like this. I mean, most of the time I'm going to go first. Like I would say in like, I'd say at least 95% of all battles, I end up going first, because 300 speed is pretty crazy. I have all speed on her, full speed sets. You see, some of these I feel like are just really, really weak. Like one thing you'll realize if you keep winning in Arena and you get to the top rank, sometimes you'll get put up against really, really hard enemies, and you'll have to take some losses in the defense in order to get knocked back down. But yeah, lately I've been getting a lot of weak teams like this. All right, so it looks like everybody else is about to go first. So again, I don't want her giving everybody else's turn meters a boost, but all of my allies are going to go first. So I'm going to take her out. She's gone. So again, 1 shot. He has 2 shots. He only needed 1. Now again, I'm going to do her provoke. All right. Now, one of the downsides here is that with the provoke, if they have high enough resist, it's going to be a problem. All right. But for the most part, I provoke them, and then it gets them under control, where now he attacks her with his weakest attack, so it has him in check. And then again, I can auto this out. Turbolt's probably going to kill him. Yep. Alright. So you can see how that works. Alright. And now I want to try to get a more powerful team, so you can see what happens when the team is stronger and harder to kill, how that fight can last a little longer. Looks like everybody might be pretty low here for some reason. I don't know why. 130, alright, so that's modest. They have Ray. Ray is a threat. Ray hits really hard. So, and she's an AoE champion. Alright, so, I should still, yeah, well ahead of them. Look at what the turn meters are. And that's why everything, like I said, everything, the top priority in Arena is about speed and going first, because now I have control. I get to try to kill their enemies first. I get to try to debuff their enemies first, or buff my allies. So you're in control. You're in the lead, essentially. You have the first strike, which always has the upper hand. Now, since Gorgorath can resurrect, normally I would want to take him out. I'm not worried about him resurrecting, though, because most likely Martyr is going to debuff him and provoke him. So what I'm going to do is take out Ray. Ooh, and see, now this is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to do this, because now, see, he didn't kill her. So what I want to do now is provoke everybody. Ooh, and they see they knew enough to put a lot of resist on the Gorgorath. So see, now even if I kill her, he's going to resurrect her. I'm going to try to knock his turn meter down at least. Alright, so I don't want to use her A2 yet, so I want to start knocking him down. So see, this is an issue, and this is why you got to be concerned, because now they're getting chances to attacks. That is not good. Luckily, she didn't do that much damage yet, and a lot of my champions are geared for dungeons and everything too. They're not purely glass cannons for this, so that gives me a lot of survival, which is good. Alright, so now, since they are going to be doing some attacks, I want to do her counter attack. And Gorgorath just healed, which kind of sucks. Alright, hopefully I can stun Gorgorath. Nope, they got a lot of resist on Gorgorath, because my champions have a lot of accuracy, yet they're still missing. Alright, so I know she's not going to kill him, so what I'm going to do instead is put Weaken on Ray. Good. Now, I'm going to have no problems taking out Gorgorath here. I'm going to overkill just because it'll reset the turn meter on my A3 and Turtle. Now see, they're getting a lot of chances to attack, and see, that's what sucks about Ray, is she's got the AoEs and she's got this freeze thing. That's why she is my next priority. I need to take her out ASAP. This should do the job there. Wow. They have a lot of survival on Ray. The downside, though, is as you can see, Ray isn't hitting that hard because they have a lot of survival on her. So there's good and bad for that. Now, if they had glass cannons, they might have killed me here. This might have been it for me. But that's what I wanted to show you, is that I'm just going to auto this out because it's done. Is that if they had some really hard-hitting glass cannons there, they could have killed me, because the thing is that when it comes to debuffs, you can see if somebody resists, you got problems there. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the difference with the other composition. Alright, so now we're going to put Dracomorph in there as the debuffer, the defense down and weaken, and then we're going to do an AoE champion, because with Turvold would be a complete overkill with Dracomorph, because if Dracomorph's debuffs do happen, Turvold would already kill one champion. You're going to see with this is that with the debuffs, instead, Big Un is going to do to all the champions what Turvold normally does to one champion. I'm going to show you and watch. Like, I didn't look at the numbers as far as the damage that I was dealing to those other champions, but I'm definitely going to rewatch it after the fact, because I know Dracomorph triples the damage to the Spider Boss with the defense down a week, and I don't know how much he amplifies it on these champions. I would imagine he at least doubles it, which even if he doubles it for 2 glass cannons or 2 modestly hitting champions like I have, it's worth it. Because again, he's only taking up 1 slot, and if he can double this person's damage and double this person's damage, that's like having double the people. It's like having 4 champions for those 3 slots instead of the 3. Alright, so see, now I'm going to come at them with this A2. It's an AoE. They all got the debuffs. Look at that. The only reason he didn't kill him is it was a weak hit, so it didn't crit. But then now, Nethral's going to come in and finish that up. Look at that, 61,000 he just hit him for. Compare that to the numbers you were seeing before. That's why so much better. And it's such quick wins. You look at that, like, I don't have to worry about debuffs. I don't have to worry about things getting resisted. I don't have to worry about taking out the healer or anything like that, because I'm taking out everybody at once. Okay, so see, again, debuffs, It's all up on everybody, and then boom, this will probably kill them all. Yeah, look at that, 80,000 on some of those champions. And look at how fast the win was. I mean, ridiculously fast wins too, and that's the great thing. That's why, you know, more than anything, like, you know, people try to argue like, oh yeah, Martyr's great in arena. No, not if you know how to do things right. Look at how fast these wins are. Watch this. I mean, again, weaken, defense down. You know, they're going to go. That's kind of a concern, but all right, now he gets to go. Doesn't matter. They buff themselves. They're all dead. Okay, now if I had Martyr there, that might have been a problem because, I mean, again, I wouldn't have killed them immediately. Alright, so I got some refills, so I'm going to do a few more battles here. Now, if somebody doesn't have a speed aura, I already know right off the bat, like, this is a win. Because, again, like, it's all about speed. Like, that's the thing, guys. Like, I know some people argue with me you can make really good hit point or defense champion groups. But again, like, I mean, look at this group. They got shields, they have increased defense. So, I mean, they got a lot of protection, but I mean, look at that. I just stunned a couple of them and knocked down the turn meters, do a ton more damage. One of them's already dead, and they haven't even gone yet. Now, he got one attack, and then now I'm going to reduce all their buffs. And then poison him, so I definitely don't want him being alive. All right, now watch this. Now see, again, it's taken a little bit longer because they do have the defense, but still I had the upper hand. Before they even attacked once, I already killed one of their champions. And that's why, again, like, speed is key in arena. It doesn't matter that they have gear comparable to my champion's gear. If I'm faster than them, no, I don't know who. This is like, this is Borgarath. It's, I mean, really, you took the skin and just another, come on. But anyway, all right, removes all debuffs, heals everybody, and then block debuffs, buff, not worry about that. Decrease speed. Alright, so I'm not worried about anything he does. But most likely I'm going to kill him on the first turn anyway. But again, it's all about who goes first. You'll see that if any of these groups do go before me, that they might kill me. And my champions, like Nethril doesn't have that much defense. Dracomorph is geared right now for Clan Boss because it's more important for me to gear Dracomorph for Clan Boss than in here, because as you see, a lot of the time Dracomorph doesn't even attack in here. And I'm doing Ultra Nightmare, so I need to have pretty hefty gear for Ultra Nightmare. I need a specific amount of speed and everything else. Now you see, regretfully, a lot of these champions' team power is a lot lower than mine. I don't know why, because I am at the maximum tier of Arena Gold 4. I'm looking forward to the Platinum. I mean, hopefully they're not going to put a bunch of bots in there that have, like, ridiculous amounts of speed. And look at that. Like, even the lowest damage was, like, 46,000 on those champions. I mean, that's crazy. And you look at, like, let's see something here. See, like, yeah, I mean, that's more than an entire champion's hit points the majority of the time. I mean, let me see, like, even Martyr has, like, quite a bit. So she has 42,000. It would have killed her, and she's one of my higher hit point champions. And yeah, it would have killed any of mine too. I mean, that's a really hard freaking hit. Because like I said, that's why defense down and weaken are so valuable in arena. They amplify the damage of everybody else so much. That's why Skull Crown is decent. She does apply weaken along with an AoE, so she does damage and weaken. Weaken, again, like I said before, does not amplify the damage as much as defense down, but it still does amplify it, and it's still worth having a champion that does it. Now, Skull Crown, a lot of people do love because of the fact that she has this invulnerable, but the thing is that for Gold 4, if you're focusing on a gold Skull Crown, look at this. Like, with Gold 4, a lot of these people are going to work up to the top missions and get Arbiter through the missions. And look at this, 75% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. When you max her skills out, it's a 100% chance. So you look at that unkillable, poof, gone, and now you're dead. So, it just wipes that unkillable off of there because it's only for 1 turn. So, yeah, that's why Skull Crown is okay. I mean, she's decent, especially if you're in lower tiers like Silver, Bronze. Like, Skull Crown's amazing, but for Gold 4, she's okay. But most people are going to have Arbiter, and as such, like, she's not that great anymore. But again, it all comes down to who goes first. Because again, look at this. Like, you look at how quick my win was. It was like a few seconds. Like, I'm winning most of these fights within like 4 or 5 seconds. Like, I mean, it's crazy. And look, their team power is a little bit higher than me. But again, if I go first, I'm going to win. If they go first, they might win. Nope. And look, their speed is nowhere near. Like, I don't. That's weird. But yeah, but again, I have almost 300 speed. Like, the key to get that much speed is, like, your champion who you boost the turn meter on, do not worry at all about their attack. Don't worry at all about their defense or their hit points. Worry about how fast they are. You want to put speed sets on them that have the highest speed possible. So you get speed sets, which give you the bonus 12% speed per 2 pieces. And then you take the ones that give you the highest buffs. I mean, not highest buff, highest speed. So, like, some of hers, like, she has, like, upwards of, like, 17, 18 speed on some of the sets, because it's just the ones where you got to watch the stats increase for the speed. And then it's just, at that point, just about the glyphs, too. Of course, you want to give your turn meter boost champion like her your highest speed glyphs on all their speed stats as well. Because, yeah, 300 is kind of crazy. I've heard people, like, at 275 or above, 275 or above, they usually win about, like, 4 in every 5 battles at least. I think at, like, about 285%, 285 speed, I want to say that person said they win about 90% of the time. At 299 speed, like I said, I would say I win at least 98% of the time. I go first 95% of the time. Because there's sometimes where the other champion goes first and they still lose. Like, see this here? Look at that. That just did some serious damage. Plus some of my champions are stunned. Now I'm really hurt up here. But nope. I could have lost. But again, it's because their enemies got to make the first attack. Like, and the thing is that, like I said, like, my Dracomorph, he has a lot of hit points, a lot of defense. Like, I have him geared for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, and it's a group that can do, like, upwards of, like, 25, 26 million on the Clan Boss. When I do manual, on auto, not quite as much. Ooh, crap. Again, look at that. Look at that. That's horrible. And now the thing is that even with Arbiter, you can say, oh, well, if I have Arbiter, I'm not worried about going first. Here's the problem. She's going to resurrect these champions, but then the enemy is going to go again before they get to go. So look, their hit points are really low, and here they go getting killed off again. So it was a waste of time even bringing them back. Like, I don't like losing, but I'm glad that I did lose just to show you guys how this works. If the enemy goes first, they're most likely going to win, because again, even if you can resurrect like that, like I said, you're going to resurrect, but then most likely the enemy is just going to knock those champions right back down again. So that's why it's like, I love Arbiter for Arena for the speed boost, for the turn meter boost, the increased attack boost, as well as the fact that she can resurrect. But when it comes to resurrecting, like, if I need to resurrect, the majority of the time I'm going to lose. Is this the same? Yeah, I just went with the same group again. This is... There we go. Alright, so... 121. I don't even know what this dwarf does. There are some champions in this that I need to look up and look into. But again, I don't worry about it too much in Arena, because again, you see the majority of the time I'm going first, and they die before they even get a chance to attack me most of the time. I mean, look at that. So again, that's why in Arena, speed is king. I mean, this is defense aura. I'm not the slightest bit worried about them. Like, even if they had 170, 180,000, I wish I had some teams that had, like, team powers really high. Like, I've done, like, team powers, like, upwards 180, 190,000. No big deal. Now, see, that's weird, where, like, turn meters are a little messed up and a little buggy in Arena, because you see, like, Big Gun should have gone before him, but for some reason Nethril went before him. I don't know why that happens. It's like sometimes you'll see, like, with the enemy turn meters, like, your turn meter is full on a champion. Like, watch what happens to the turn meter boost. Like, you're gonna see, like, my turn meters are gonna get maxed out, but then watch the enemies jump up too. Now look, everybody's was maxed, and now look, his was maxed, his is maxed out here. I'm gonna debuff, but watch their turn meters increase. See, look at everybody's turn meters went up even though his was maxed. There's no reason there should have increased like that. And if any of you know why it does that, other than if it's a bug, please let me know, because as far as I can tell, it's some kind of bug in Arena where the speed, like, I guess they couldn't get the codes right or something. Oh god, I hate Roshkard. For those of you who don't know Roshkard, like, Roshkard is the dude that blocked damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. If you had a group where you were doing a bunch of damage to them and nothing was getting through and they kill you, it's because Roshkard was on the team. I hate Roshkard. I hate him with a passion because he's God broken. But I always go after groups with Roshkard in it just because I love to kill them. Like, I love to give them a loss. I mean, in arena, losses don't really matter unless you're taking a ton of losses and then you get bumped from gold 4 to gold 3. But I would imagine with Roshkard and other legendaries in Bellower, he probably doesn't have any issues getting bumped down to gold 3. But, and again, 146,000, so theirs is higher than mine, but again, they have hit points. Not worried about hit points. Okay, and here we go. I'm just about done with this video, so I was planning on making it kind of quick and just a little like, look at this compared to this and just show you guys the difference. Alright, now with this here, alright, let me show you how it can be annoying if I don't have that, like, say the different group with, like, Martyr and Turbold, alright? So with this group, obviously the first champion that I want to take out, like, all 10 can resurrect, but only if he kills. What's more annoying is Skull Crusher, doing the ally protection and making everybody else much, much more difficult to kill, on top of making himself invulnerable. I don't want him to make himself invulnerable because then it's going to take longer to win this fight. I could remove it with her, but I don't have my Arbiter maxed yet, so there's no guarantee that it would. Now see, it took him out, no worries there. Now I'm going to provoke, which is another reason. Oh, see, this group, again, they knew enough to put a lot of resistance on their all 10. Now, if the other enemy is faster than you, resistance works well, but if... But the thing is ultimately at the end, like, I don't think resistance is that great still. I don't use... The only champion I have any resistance on is Arbiter, and it's because it was a banner that had really, really good stats on it that I needed for her for the speed. It was the only banner that I had that had a modest amount of speed on it. So that's why I put that one on her. But otherwise, I wouldn't even have gone with the resistance on her. If I had my choice with her, I probably would have put some more attack on her because I wish she could hit a little bit harder. Like, her damage is a complete joke. Like, you can see in the video here, if you didn't pay attention to how much damage she did, it's horrible. But now you see, like, I still won with that, so that was good. Regretfully, a lot of these groups just aren't powerful enough. But again, you see it's more concerning because the enemy is getting more of a chance to get turns. Let's see, it didn't kill him. So here we go with the provoke. That's going to provoke, which is great. Hopefully knock down the turn meters, buy me time. Great. But again, you still look at how much longer the enemies are surviving now compared to when I have the Dracomorph group. If this was the Dracomorph group with the defense down and the AoE damage from Big Gun, game over. Be absolutely game over. Now again, I'm going to add Turbold in here just because I'm about done with this, but I think if I have any more, yeah, I have 2 more. So, alright, so I'm going to show you a little something different and show you, like, why it doesn't make sense to put Dracomorph with Turbold. Alright? Because again, with Big Gun, you saw, like, with his AoE, he could kill just about everybody. With Turbold, it's just going to be a complete overkill, but you saw with, like, Turbold, like, how he hits really, really freaking hard, like 40, was like, I want to say about 40,000 a hit or something like that. Now look at how hard he hits now with that defense down and weaken on the enemy. One hit, 50,000. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to do 2 hits because he hit so hard. But again, I mean, it amplifies the damage amazingly well. And at this point, like, go ahead and attack me. Like, that's the thing is, again, like, even if they have glass cannons, it's like, well, one of your enemies just attacked me, but I killed everybody else. Now, here's like a resistance group. So they think they know what they're doing. 152,000. They do have... That's smart. This person... This isn't the greatest group, but they did a smart move. Like, this is somebody that's probably a vet. They're kind of bored with doing speed runs, and they wanted to do something that was a little more challenging to win, where they don't just win right off the bat. But, let me show you what happens here. Then they have a Man-Eater, which he does like an unkillable. So yeah, an unkillable buff and block buff on all allies for 2 turns. So it makes it that they're all unkillable. So he has a group where there's a lot of threats here that would make themselves unkillable. And like 2 Skull Crowns, if they had enough resist on them, they might be able to kill me. But again, that's why, again, no matter resistance, no matter defense, hit points, The most important thing in the arena is, again, about speed, because watch this. Took them out, like even with resistance. This one resisted that one stun, but then now she's stunned. And then now I got Arbiter here. I'm going to remove the 2 unkillables most likely. Alright, so it removed one of them. The other one fell off because her turn went up. And that's it. So even with resistance, like some people have argued, like resistance groups are like really good in arena. But again, like what it's about more than anything else is the speed, guys. It really, really is. The speed is paramount. But then after speed, you notice you'll get a faster kill if you have somebody with a defense down and weaken. Even if you just have defense down, like you can go with Tyrell. Tyrell is a great choice too if you don't have Dracomorph, and you know, because he does an AoE defense down, plus he does damage too. So even though he doesn't amplify all your other allies' damage as much, he does do some extra damage that Dracomorph isn't doing, so he kind of compensates in that regard. And if you have Skull Crown, I mean, by all means, you could use Skull Crown. Like, I haven't maxed mine out yet, I don't think. I don't even know where the heck she is. Oh, she's over here, because Knights Revenant's Faction Wars today. So yeah, see, I haven't maxed her out yet, but, I mean, she has that passive that makes her unkillable, which Arbiter can remove, and especially if Arbiter's maxed, it's a 100% chance unless she resists it. But then she has this AoE with a chance to put weaken, and that does a lot of damage. That's why, like, if she has a lot of resist on her, she can hit my allies really, really hard. Like, her and another champion could, like, kill me. And then an AoE again, and it does an extra hit if the target has more than 50% hit points. So that can be pretty devastating as well. So she can be decent in arena. She's just not decent enough for me to justify putting her in my group, because Bigun already does a great job. Nethril does a great job. The thing that I love about Nethril is he doesn't scale amazing. He scales all right. He doesn't scale amazing compared to some other attack champions, but he has this A3 that decreases turn meters by 75%, and he has this to stun, which it's a 75% chance to stun, but even if he doesn't stun, he decreases their speed, which is awesome. His A1 is poison, so that's not that great. But anyway, but yeah, like I said, guys, I wanted to do this video just to show you how important speed is in arena and see that speed is key, and also to demonstrate the difference between having a defense down or weakened champion in the group compared to if you just have the just glass cannons. Now, I'm actually going to do 2 more battles. I'm going to show you something really quick, show you a little bit of a difference here. So say you don't have Dracomorph and you just have defense down. It's still pretty good. All right, where the heck is my Tyrell? Well, Tyrell is in my roster, so he's got to be here somewhere. All you guys are like, dude, he's right there. Yeah, right there. All right, so I'm going to show you him. I think Tyrell is geared enough to go faster than Bigun and Nethril. I think he is. Yeah. Alright, so you're going to see he's going to do the defense down, but he's also doing damage along with it. So there's no weakens on them, but again, look at how much it's going to amplify it. Still 64, 67,000. Like I said, like weaken does help you quite a bit, but if you have a choice between weaken or defense down, choose defense down because it amplifies more. Same thing with the clan boss, same thing with dungeons. It's universal. Defense down always amplifies your damage more than weaken does. But again, Skull Crown is decent. I don't think she's amazing because, like I said, Arbiter can remove her debuff. In Platinum, I think Platinum, when it does come out, the higher arena level, it is going to decrease her value some just because most of the people in Platinum are going to have Arbiter. But again, you can see that, like, you know, Tyrell with the AoE defense down, again, the great thing about him is he does that AoE damage too, so he's doing not a ton of damage to everybody, but he's doing a modest amount, and he's applying that defense down, and then now Bigun comes in for the kill, boom. I mean, the lowest damage that I did there was 33,000 hit points. So we got Skull Crown in the lead. That's another nice thing about Skull Crown, though. She does have that speed aura, too, which is pretty cool. So she's, again, she's okay. I mean, I think I stand corrected. I know earlier I said she's not that great. And it's like, what I mean by not that great is for end game content, like gold 4, top status, like very, very end game. She's not the greatest. I mean, she is better than a lot of choices. So, I mean, if you have her, and you don't have other champions like I do that have like a ton of AoE like this with amazing debuffs, I would have Skull Crown. Like if I didn't have Bigun, I would probably have Skull Crown in place of Big on there. But now you see, like I said, with Tyrell, like without that defense down getting placed on them initially, not doing a ton of damage, but he's going to amplify everybody else's damage, so even though he doesn't get that weaken, it's still pretty decent. Wow, looks like he has a lot of hit points, a lot of defense, something like that. So look at that. That took, like, but now I'm going to stun him. And there we go. Alright, and I'm just going to auto this out, but I think that's about all that I got for you guys today. I did want to show you, because I know a lot of guys don't have Dracomorph out there, so I figured I'd at least show you some of these where it's like with Tyrell, like if you have an AoE defense down, go for it. Now another thing too, if you go, man, like I don't have Dracomorph and I don't have Tyrell, like this sucks, man, like I really know this champion. It's like you can farm the campaign for a champion that has an AoE defense down, alright? So that's why like some players that are in Gold 4 tier, they have groups where it's not legendaries. You've seen her in here somewhere. I fought some fights with her already. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see her anywhere here, but let me show you that really quick before I finish this, because I feel like this has been going on longer than I was expecting, but I believe she's in here. She's a rare, and yeah, her here, War Maiden. Alright, so War Maiden is somebody that you can farm the campaign for, and she has this AoE, and if you max out her skills, it's a 100% chance to place that 60% decreased defense. So she does the same as Tyrell. She does an AoE attack and applies a decreased defense. Her other abilities I don't think are as good as Tyrell's, but still the main thing you saw, Tyrell most of the time only did that one single attack anyway, and then it was game over. Now, like I said, you can get her somewhere in the campaign. For those of you who don't know, like in case you guys are fairly new, I did want to look out for you. You see where it says miscellaneous drops? She's somewhere in here. I don't know exactly where she is, but there's one of these that War Maiden is in, and you'll see her as one of the drops. Now, you might have to farm it a lot and run a lot of runs on it, but if you need an AoE defense down champion, that's the way to go. You can farm for one and get her. There's a few others in this that are pretty decent as far as rare champions. I mean, nothing that's amazing, but again, if you're hard up for a champion with AoE defense down, yeah, there she is right there. So in the Deadlands. So, and then there you go. You got War Maiden. And pretty easy on the eyes too. You know, I mean, anyway, but no, like I said, she's great because again, like she can be just as valuable as Tyrell in Arena because again, a lot of times if you're fast enough, all that you're going to need her for is the A3 anyway. So as far as like her A2 and A1 not doing as much as him, I mean, it's still not horrible. Attacks an enemy, 50% increased attack on her if it places an extra, and places an extra hit if the attack's critical. So if you load her up with a 100% crit rate, then she does hit pretty hard. And then it attacks an enemy, chance of a poison. See, the poison is kind of worthless in Arena, but this one is not bad because it does hit pretty hard, and it does 2 hits if you have 100% crit rate on her. So overall, she is a viable champion for Arena as well. Like I said, you will see her sometimes in Gold 4, so you can play with her in here as well. But I think that covers everything. Only other thing that I'll share really quick, like I said, if I could gear these champions purely for Arena, I wouldn't have lifesteal on them. I would have full cruel sets, or like with some of them, like still want some extra speed, but mostly for like say Nethril for extra damage, I would have like cruel sets on him, or like the extra increased damage, increased crit rate, like sets, things like that. Lifesteal just isn't that great because again, your goal in Arena is to kill the enemy before they even ever get a chance to go. So like the crit damage plus 20%, that's nice. The plus 12% crit rate, things like that, you know, is what you'd ideally want to go for. But I have Nethril being used in dungeons, so I needed like some more of other stats. I got to max out his banner, that's why he's not, should be like 200 plus accuracy, but I just didn't max that yet because I don't need to. Most of the time you see he doesn't get resisted in Arena anyway. And then Big Un, same thing. I needed some gear on him with accuracy for Spider 20. So if I didn't need him for Spider 20, this would be all cruel sets and I would not have any accuracy on him. I would focus purely on just tons and tons of damage. So again, if you want to maximize your wins in Arena, you want to be really, really good, champion with a speed aura, champion with a turn meter boost, a champion that has defense down, and if possible, a champion with weaken, and then 2 champions that are glass cannons, or at least maybe not glass cannons, but attack-based champions that do a lot of damage. And ideally, you want AoE damage, at least 1 attack for each one of them that does AoE damage. So like say with Nethril, like his A1 is only a 1 target hit. But you can see he has 2 AoEs, which is enough to always kill the, well, I shouldn't say always, almost always kill the enemy with enough speed and enough damage. All right? So really, I mean, even if you have 1 AoE, but it hits really, really hard, you could even get away with that with most groups. But the key is once you get that attack, I mean, the defense down and the weaken, ideally you want champions with AoE damage, because you see like champions like Turvold, he could already one-shot enemies, but then again, it just becomes overkill when you're just hitting 1 single target. It makes more sense to, again, like with what Turvold does in the arena to 1 champion, the combination of Dracomorph and Bigon does to all 4 of them. So it's 4 times what I'm getting out of Turvold for only double the slots. So obviously a lot more valuable. But anyway, that's all that I got for now, guys. I mean, you have any questions, comments, feedback, let me know in the comments below. But I wanted to touch on this because I did have somebody bring up the other day in the Harvest Jack video, and they said, oh, well, you know, Harvest Jack is great for Arena because of the debuffs. Like, number one, I don't think he's particularly great in Arena for obvious reasons, because to me, it's all about speed, winning as quickly as possible, not worried about debuffs, other than my defense down and weaken, that's it. But as far as like true fears and block buffs and things like that Harvest Jack has, not worried about them. And the thing is Harvest Jack doesn't hit that hard. That's another issue too. He doesn't scale that well. I mean, I have mine loaded up with a modest amount of gear, yet he doesn't hit that hard in Arena. But I'll probably do a different video showing that and like showing what Harvest Jack does in Arena. He's not horrible in Arena. He's just very unpredictable. He's not reliable, because with True Fear, you have a 50% chance of locking the person's cooldowns and them missing a turn. But you also have a 50% chance that True Fear does absolutely nothing, and that champion comes at you full force. So just something to think about. But anyway, and Harvest Jack isn't horrible in Arena. If you're still struggling, you're not at Gold 4 yet, then sure, Harvest Jack can be a good way to work your way up. But what I'm talking about is for end game content at top Gold 4 tier and eventually at Platinum tier, he's not that amazing. So, but anyway, I'm not going to do Harvest Jack in this video because I feel like this is already going a lot longer than I was expecting. But if you guys have any questions, comments, let me know in the comments below. But just wanted to do a video after that, the discussion in Harvest Jack, to show you guys like what you really want in Arena. All right, and that is how to win quickly and easily. All right, now if you're bored and you want to do something just for fun, then sure, Harvest Jack is fun. He's fun to play with if you're just playing around and you're not worried about taking some losses here and there. But if you want the most amount of wins, you see what to do. So, and again, like I said, you can get generic versions like War Maiden. War Maiden's like the generic version of Tyrell or Dracomorph for the defense down. You have other champions that have AoE attacks that you can farm for, you know, that are rares. So you can build a group like this that is rares, and you're guaranteed to get high Katoon. So as far as the speed aura and speed boost, I mean, she has the speed aura in all battles, and she has this Rally the Horde to fill turn meters and a 30% increased speed buff. So, I mean, you have somebody that you're guaranteed to get in game as far as logging in that has the speed boost. You are guaranteed to have a campaign champion you can farm for defense down, War Maiden. It may take a long time, but that's a champion where you're not hoping to get her. You will definitely get her if you farm that campaign long enough. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how much energy are you going to have to spend getting her. All right, so there are some things in the game that you know you can get for sure that I would say, you know, are still decent in Gold 4. Because like I said, you'll see some of those champions in Gold 4. Not everybody is legendary and epics in Arena. Like, look at like epic, rare, rare, rare. And Bellower, I mean, he can hit like a beast in Arena. Like a real beast. I'm going to do one more just to show you how god freaking broken Hegemon is. I hate Hegemon. All right, now, number one, they already have a lot of team power. But Hegemon in Arena is god broken, absolutely god broken. I might even like post this in the feedback and discussions in the forums just to show Plarium and just do the timestamp. Now look at this, always goes first each round, always goes first. No matter how much speed you have, he is guaranteed to go first. All right, unless there's multiple Hegemons, and then it's the one with the highest speed. And then here's the thing that's disgusting about him. In case him going first wasn't bad enough, he attacks all enemies, and he has a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns, and also has a 50% chance of placing a block cooldown skills debuff for 2 turns, which means if you have bad luck, this 50% could lock down all of your cooldown skills for all 4 of your champions. But on average, since it's 50%, half of your champions are going to have their skills locked down from him. Hegemon is ridiculously God broken in Arena. There are some people who have garbage champions in Arena that still win purely because of Hegemon locking down skills. Now he attacks 2 times at random with this one, and then it's decreased speed debuff too. Like, decreased speed sucks. So it's like, he has some skills that are freaking ridiculous. Now most likely this group is going to win just because look at what Hegemon is going to do to my group here. Watch this crap. Look, 2 of my champions locked down. I can't even do my turn meter boosts to everybody. This champion almost freaking dead. Almost dead. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? And for 2 turns, not a 1 turn, 2 turn lockdown on my skills. For 2 turns, they're worthless. You saw Arena doesn't even usually last 2 turns. And that's what I got to deal with right now. Now, I need to knock down his turn meter because if he does defense down, I'm dead. But yeah, look at that. And their group isn't even that great. But this is just, like I said, this is an example of how God freaking broken he is. I'm going to try to knock down the turn meter. Now look at this. Like, she's worthless again for yet another turn. I really should have done this one first, but this is friggin' ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, now she can become a little bit more useful, at least when she healed him. Bombs. And I'm dead. Look at this. Look at how much they just did to me. And that's because of Hegemon. Purely because of Hegemon. If it wasn't for Hegemon, I would have destroyed them. Hegemon needs to go. Like, his ability to go first, like, I mean, since I'm going to post this in the forums, a link to it, I'm not going to say what I want to say, but it's not smart when a company breaks their own game mechanics to sell something. And that's what Hegemon is. You guys knew very well what you were doing. You said, let's break the mechanics to give them something they've never had before, to increase the incentive for whales to buy more shards to get something that's more powerful than what they have ever had before. The us vets know what it is. We know what you did. And it was really underhanded. Like, this is disgusting. Like, you need to do something about Hegemon, seriously. Like, at the bare minimum, he needs a nerf. Like, that should not be 2-turn lockdown on skills. At the bare minimum, like, it should be 1 turn. And even then, 1 turn is enough for the enemy to take you out. Like, that's just disgusting. It really, really is disgusting what you guys did there. But anyway, that's all that I got, guys. Though I had to do that when I saw Hegemon. I was like, I mean, in time, in the very, very long run of the game, like, they've broken their game. They have guaranteed to break their game, because in the long run, in, like, if this game is around for another year or 2, everything in Platinum is going to come down to if you have a Hegemon or not. That's all that it's going to come down to, because you saw how god powerful he made you. Oh, made that enemy. If it wasn't for Hegemon, again, I would have destroyed them. I was faster than them. I was a lot faster than all the other enemies, but because they had Hegemon, they didn't need to worry about speed. But anyway, that's all that I got for today, guys. So again, any questions, comments, stupid statements, let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, that's all I got for now. Hope this video was useful. And I mean, Polarium, Hegemon, seriously, I mean, I can't see anything else. But anyway, that's all that I got for now, guys. So until the next episode, take care. Hey guys, Anthony here, also known on this channel as AscendantGod. And shout out from down below, because we love everybody equally here. Well, thank you guys for checking out the channel here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with the latest content as I provided on here. Also, be sure to check out the description sections of the videos regularly as well. That's where I provide you guys with all the resources that I'm able to find that I think would be useful for you. It's also where you can show your support, and it is much appreciated because regretfully, playing video games and making funny videos doesn't support the family, so any support you guys give is really appreciated. And other than that, I think that's about all that I got for now. So in the meantime, I'm gonna get back to this here. I think I almost got it figured out. So wish me luck, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. So until then,